it's not really a part of our culture in sports, but I remember Coach Katie one time got beat pretty badly, and he said, "Don't get bitter, get better." Is there any empathy for the opponent tonight? And I don't ask that facetiously. I mean,
Right.
when it gets out of hand like that, do you have any empathy at all, or are you just still just coaching your guys?
Well, you try to keep, doing the little things and try to keep your focus and, taking shots in rhythm, sprinting, trying to do the little things. Maybe it's a technique type of a thing where you're nitpicking a little bit, but, you've been on the other end of it. It's no fun. So you have a lot of respect for your opponent and what they're going through, because when you're on that other end, it is very, very frustrating. And so the thing that we try to do is just stay with how we play and not try to force things, try to move the basketball, and try to get better. Just like a practice. You're trying to get better. Once it gets to that point, you're not playing the score. You're really playing against yourself and trying to make improvements for your next game.
You've talked about how, there's, at some point the bench has got to shorten a little bit, you would think. But there's a lot of guys out there playing a lot of minutes and doing a pretty good job. It looks like they're going to make your job of shortening that bench tough, and I would think you would like that.
Yeah, no question about it. When you have 11 guys right now, that you're trying to get everybody minutes. But I think with different lineups, different matchups, with the different opponents, things work themselves out. Obviously, Juwan Johnson, each one more are going to play more minutes, and you're going to stick with your guys as you push forward. So I think with some of our younger guys, these games have been great because now they've gotten some experience, and then when they get thrown into the fire, it's not a total inexperience. They've been in a game, especially some home games here, and I think that's very, very important. But I really think it's going to come down to how productive each and every one of those guys are on the defensive end. We've had some guys step up and shoot the ball well, but we're still going to hold guys accountable from a defensive standpoint and a rebounding standpoint, and we have to continue to play that size, in my opinion. They have to get in the game and help us win on the glass.
Your two, redshirt freshmen and freshmen, big, Sandy and Travis, have shown flashes, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done a good job. Travis has done a good job of going out there and having a good nose for the basketball, and he's the more skilled of all those guys in terms of catching and shooting. Pat, has a good motor and has done a good job of rebounding the basketball and running. Sandy, outside of Juwan, he's the one big that can rebound above the rim, and you see that on occasion. He just needs to play. He needs to get out there. Some things are, difficult for him at times, but then some things are easy. He can do some things other guys can't in terms of rebounding the basketball and just getting big. So he just needs as much experience as possible.
How often have you had to coach Patrick Beatty to not hang on the rim after he dunks?
Well, when a lot of times when guys get a full head of steam, somebody's normally there. That's why they're going so fast, because somebody's there. Nobody was there, and for him to hang on the rim just didn't make a lot of sense.
Coach, 30 assists on 41 field goals. Is that, were you putting some emphasis on making the extra pass?
I mean, we make the emphasis to make the extra pass all the time, and just share the basketball. And a lot of times when you're going to get numbers, you're going to get angles. It's just simply making the correct decision. And anytime there's a long rebound, there's a scramble, there's a turnover, if you just share the basketball, it's going to lead to baskets. And so just trying to get them to understand that. We didn't get to too many, obviously, shot clock plays where, guys had to make individual plays.
Matt, I know it looks like Juwan should be a little more challenged the next game open. I know you haven't maybe spent a whole lot of time with it, but just how important is it now that he'd be challenged a little bit, that he'd be prepared for that type of challenge?
Well, I think it's important, for our team in general. You want to keep making steps, and obviously, with your non-conference schedule, playing quality opponents, and Oakland and Austin Peay are both going to be quality opponents before we go on to Chicago. And anytime you can kind of go head-to-head with a guy at a position, and two guys obviously at a position that are considered pro prospects, I think it's very, very intriguing from a fan standpoint. I think it's a challenge for both of those guys to go out and perform. But we'll try to, for all of our guys, just kind of play within ourselves and go out there and watch tape and try to attack them and just do the little things and and try to get better. But, you know, he's a very good coach. He's been there for a long, long time in Oakland. Has had a lot of success, and anytime you have a guy like that in the middle, it makes a difference on both ends of the court.